There's a lot of variables to that.
Damn, something's wrong with this. Fuck. What's happening, guys? QMA. We're at Body Tribe in Sacramento, California with Team 3 MJ right over here. Question of the day is from Kai Angelo. He asks, explain the reasoning for carb loading during peak week for a natural bodybuilder, and explain peak week itself. So we have Eric Helms of 3 Muscle Journey, also Jeff Alberts. Hi. And let Eric start it off.
Okay, so peak week, right? I almost want to de-emphasize it a little bit, because I would say that a fantastic peak week makes you improve maybe, say, 5% from the way you regularly look, unless you didn't get lean early enough and you're super depleted, meaning you're really low on carbs. So why does carbs change the way you look in a short time frame outside of just being leaner or fatter? So we all know we store fat and we eat dietary fat. We all know we store protein, obviously all the structures of our body. We eat dietary protein. We do store carbohydrates too. We have 2 locations, the liver and then also the muscles. We have muscle and liver glycogen. Glycogen is just the storage form of carbs in animal systems. So we have starches in plants, we have glycogen in people. So if this actually gets stored in the muscles, when a muscle is full of glycogen, theoretically it should look larger. And it certainly seems to, doesn't it? Eating a lot of carbs?
Yes.
Yeah, certainly. So ideally, instead of just putting all your chips into a peak week, you're ready, say, and by ready I mean there are lines in your butt 4 to 6 weeks before you get on stage. And then you start gradually increasing carbohydrates and calories so that you're reducing the deficit. You're also going to, as you eat more food, stimulate your metabolism. So the deficit may decrease, or it may kind of stay the same, and you can keep increasing food. Our boy Matt Ogus here, I started him at what I thought was a very reasonable moderate carb intake of 200, and I walked him all the way up into the 4s, and he got leaner every week. I was trying to slow down his weight loss, and I couldn't. It's a good thing. So, so carbohydrates have a lot of effects. They increase glycogen storage, make you look better acutely, speed up your metabolism, make you feel like you're not starving as much. They're also the primary fuel we use for exercise, so they can improve performance. And that improvement in performance can actually result in you putting some of the muscle that you might have lost back on. Ideally, you didn't lose too much, but it might happen. There's nothing wrong with that. So long as you get shredded and you're all depleted and stringy and you're sad and you feel like I lost muscle before you get on stage, so you can do this progress, right? The problem is a lot of bodybuilders, they come limping onto stage. They don't carb load right. They're limping into the finish line. They look like a marathon runner, you know, who's just barely collapsed, and it's like, you know, Boston Marathon, 100 degrees out, and they decide not to drink water. Right? So ideally, you're not limping into the finish line. You're limping into 4 weeks out. So then you can actually taper up, improve exercise performance, all that fun stuff. And then peak week just has a simple function of increasing glycogen storage a little more. And it's a matter of trying to get muscle glycogen full to the point where you look bigger, you look fuller, you look healthier, but not so much so that you start to spill over. Which just means that, so glycogen is stored with water, okay, in muscles. And if there's not enough room for the glycogen, it leaks out, and you'll have some water retention. It can go away pretty quick. In fact, when I got my pro card, I spilled over bad. And what most people would have done would be like, okay, cut water. I drank 5 gallons and had 2 cups of coffee, and I flushed it all out, and I got on stage looking the best I ever had. And I got my little sword, and now I'm happy, right? So it's all about just putting the finishing touches on making sure you look full and you look like a bodybuilder on stage instead of just a competitive dieter. And it shouldn't be anything drastic. It should be based on your intake going into it, and you're just reducing workloads, increasing carbohydrates. And the actual way you do that changes on the basis of the person. I personally like to do front loads, meaning you throw the carbs in the person first, and then if you're not depleting them through exercise because you've dropped volume, they'll stay there. And then it's just a matter of either bringing them up or down based on, are you looking better or worse? And then day of the show, it's just throw a little more at you. Keep your water intake and sodium there, because those things, and all your electrolytes really, because those things will also change the way you look. One thing I want to address, and I know I'm going a long time now.
No, I like this.
This is good?
They like it. They like when you keep on going.
So a lot of guys will talk about the sodium potassium.
Oh yeah.
Cutting sodium, loading potassium. This is one of those times where the science is right, but science is complicated. You can be wrong. I know. It's like they think they're chemists, but they're not, right? So, yeah. Sodium will draw more fluid into the, what's called the extracellular water. And then potassium will draw more into the intracellular water. So we think, oh, that's a good thing, right? We want muscle, we want water in our muscle cells and not outside. However, where's one of those big spots we store extracellular water? Any ideas? Where's most of our water in our body? The vascular system. So you cut sodium, your blood pressure drops, you can't get a pump, your veins go away, and then you just don't look as good, right? So you cut sodium, you're going to reduce the fluid volume in your vascular system, and you won't be able to get a pump. And one of the most powerful things to actually change the way your muscles look, you guys have all done this working out, is you do your little bro curls with the 21s, and your guns look twice as big, right? The pump.
You're saying the pump's important.
I'm saying the pump is important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got that.
The pump is important. Yeah. You got to get the pump on the day, and you don't have sodium, you won't get a pump, right? So if you can't actually draw water to where you want it, the muscles, then it doesn't matter what your intracellular, extracellular water balance is. In fact, try it sometime. Go on a moderate carb day when you're already lean, have a slice of pizza, and you look nasty. You look grainy, right? A lot of our people, we have them load sodium right before they get on stage and drink water and have carbs. And NPC competitors look at us like this. Right?
That happens.
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Literally look at us like that. Like, how could you load sodium, water, and carbs? Those three things make you look worse, right?
Not salt, no.
Yeah, you guys tell me how Matt looked on stage. Okay? So, does it work for everybody? To varying degrees. It's just a matter of, you have to compare it to what you're dieting on. Not just randomly. If you follow a cookie cutter peak week, you're going to get bad results. Period. And I think I told you, Matt, like, you know, this first peak week might not go that well. You know, I'm not a magician, and you can't be, because there's a lot of shit going on. Mainly just want to not screw it up. If it's better to be, you know, 85% full than it is 105% spilled over. And just make sure you don't look bad. Peak week is, you know, Lane Norton said this. A big part of peak week is just don't fuck it up.
The bottom line is to get in shape before peak week. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and honestly,
Peak week don't fix everything.
no. If you are shredded and then you're able to bring your food back up to just normal levels like maintenance, you'll walk into the show looking like you peaked pretty damn well. And there's nothing wrong with doing that, just going straight into it. And in fact, when I have guys do back-to-back shows, they just diet through it. They're just on a lot less of an aggressive diet at the end.
I don't think it should be called peak week.
Yeah, peak
I think
week.
it should be called fine-tuning.
There you go.
Just fine-tune the final product.
Yeah.
Because peak week, people think it's magic, and it's not magic.
A lot of people do. That's why they ask.
It's peak
So
week,
often.
so it's going to turn me into magic by Saturday.
Now that being said, having someone help you with the peak week is important, because if you talk to the average person, they're like, oh bro, peak week is so brutal. You know, by like Tuesday night, I'm down to like 2 tablespoons of water. You know, I haven't had sodium and fat.
Hey, quit being a little bitch!
Ogus cake!